Switzerland. What lies behind its famous neutrality? How did a small, mountainous country stay out of two world wars, yet play a key role behind the scenes? In this video, we explore the surprising history of Switzerland and discover how its past shaped the peaceful powerhouse we know today. Long before the idea of a Swiss nation existed, the region we know today as Switzerland was inhabited by Celtic tribes, most notably the Helvetii. In 58 BCE, they attempted to migrate westward but were defeated by Julius Caesar, and their territory was absorbed into the Roman Empire. Under Roman rule, cities like Aventicum, modern-day Avenches, flourished, connected by roads and trade routes that would lay the groundwork for later development. The collapse of Rome in the 5th century left a fragmented landscape, caught between Germanic tribes like the Alemanni and the expanding Frankish Empire. In the Middle Ages, Switzerland was not one unified entity, but a patchwork of feudal territories under the sway of powerful regional families and the Holy Roman Empire. Monasteries became centers of learning and culture, while Alpine passes like the Gotthard grew vital for trade between northern and southern Europe. Though the land was mountainous and remote, it was far from isolated. Swiss valleys became strategic thoroughfares in the medieval economy, and local communities gradually began asserting their independence. One key milestone came in 1291, when the three forest cantons, Uri, Schweiz, and Unterwalden, formed a defensive alliance, the Eidgenossenschaft, to resist domination by the Habsburgs. This pact, signed on the Rutli Meadow, is considered the symbolic founding moment of Switzerland. Over the centuries, other cantons joined the Confederation, drawn together by shared interests in trade, defense, and autonomy, not by language or religion. The Swiss Confederation grew stronger through a series of military victories, most notably against the Habsburgs and the Duchy of Burgundy. Fiercely independent and battle-tested, the Swiss cantons developed a powerful militia system and began sending mercenaries across Europe. By the late 15th century, Swiss fighters were in high demand, feared for their discipline, strength, and brutal effectiveness. Their fame echoed far beyond the Alps, and to this day the Swiss Guard still protects the Pope in the Vatican. But with military pride came costly consequences. In 1515, the Swiss suffered a devastating defeat at the Battle of Marignano, near Milan, against the French army led by King Francis I. The battle lasted 2 grueling days, and the Swiss, though courageous, were outnumbered and outgunned, especially by the use of heavy French artillery. This defeat shattered the myth of Swiss invincibility and marked the end of their expansionist ambitions in Italy. The shock was so great that the Confederation fundamentally changed course. In the years that followed, Switzerland began to distance itself from foreign entanglements and adopted a policy of armed neutrality, a stance that would come to define its role in Europe for centuries to come. Yet, neutrality did not bring internal peace. The 16th century ushered in the Protestant Reformation, which shook the Confederation to its core. Reformers like Ulrich Zwingli in Zurich and later John Calvin in Geneva challenged the authority of the Catholic Church, promoting new doctrines and ideas about governance, education, and individual responsibility. This spiritual revolution deeply divided the Swiss cantons. Some embraced Protestantism, while others remained steadfastly Catholic. Tensions escalated into a series of religious wars, including the Wars of Kappel, where Zwingli himself was killed. Switzerland became a patchwork of confessional communities, forced to coexist under an uneasy peace. Despite their differences, the cantons managed to maintain a fragile confederation. Geneva, under Calvin, rose to prominence as a center of Reformed theology and a haven for Protestant exiles. Meanwhile, Basel and Bern prospered through trade, banking, and the spread of printing. Even as ideas modernized, the Swiss Confederation remained deeply decentralized, a web of semi-independent states tied together more by shared interest than unified governance. The French Revolution in 1789 sent shockwaves through Switzerland. In 1798, French troops invaded, dismantling the old confederation and creating the centralized Helvetic Republic, a short-lived experiment in unity that was deeply unpopular among many Swiss. Cantons lost their autonomy, and the population bristled at French control. Civil unrest followed, and the project collapsed by 1703. Napoleon then issued the Act of Mediation, restoring much of the cantonal independence while maintaining a looser federal structure. Though many Swiss resented foreign interference, the turmoil set in motion a rethinking of national identity. When Napoleon fell, the Congress of Vienna in 1815 formally recognized Switzerland's perpetual neutrality and its expanded territory of 22 cantons. But stability did not come easily. In 1847, tensions between Catholic and Protestant cantons erupted into the brief Sonderbund War. The liberal, mostly Protestant cantons won, and in 1848, Switzerland adopted a new federal constitution, creating the modern Swiss state. This constitution balanced autonomy and unity, introduced a bicameral parliament, and established a strong central government while still preserving the cantonal structure. It was a delicate compromise, but it held. During the 19th and 20th centuries, Switzerland remained famously neutral, while the rest of Europe was engulfed in war. It stayed out of both World War I and World War II, despite being surrounded by fighting powers. Yet, neutrality did not mean disengagement. Switzerland became a hub for diplomacy and humanitarianism. It was home to the founding of the International Red Cross in 1863, and Geneva became a global center for peace talks, treaties, and later the United Nations agencies. However, Swiss neutrality during World War II remains controversial. While the country provided refuge to many fleeing persecution, its banks also dealt with Nazi gold and closed their borders to thousands of Jewish refugees. These contradictions have sparked debate to this day. Still, Switzerland emerged from the war physically unscathed and economically stable, allowing it to flourish in the post-war era. The Swiss model of direct democracy, with frequent referenda and strong local governance, gained admiration worldwide. Major cities like Zurich, Basel, and Geneva grew into financial and cultural hubs. Meanwhile, Switzerland balanced its independence with careful cooperation, joining the Schengen area and UN, while notably staying out of the EU. It remained a multilingual, multicultural country, with 4 official languages and a political system built on consensus and decentralization. After the war, Switzerland became a center for global diplomacy and humanitarian efforts. Geneva hosted the United Nations European headquarters and the International Red Cross, strengthening Switzerland's identity as a bridge builder in international affairs. Its economy thrived through banking, precision engineering, and pharmaceuticals, while its political system remained famously stable and consensus-driven. With referendums as a regular part of governance, Swiss citizens had an unusually direct voice in shaping national policy. Despite its success, Switzerland has often gone its own way. It chose not to join the European Union and only joined the United Nations in 2002. And yet, it's more connected to the world than ever, a global financial hub, a leader in innovation, and one of the world's wealthiest and most livable countries. In a fast-changing world, Switzerland has found strength in neutrality, tradition, and direct democracy, a unique path forged over centuries. Today, Switzerland is known for its stunning Alpine landscapes, banking industry, precision manufacturing, and chocolate. But its identity runs deeper. It's a country that managed to forge unity, not through conformity, but through coexistence. The Swiss system emphasizes civic participation, education, and social stability. Political power is shared, not concentrated. Every major decision, from immigration policy to healthcare reforms, is shaped directly by the people. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.